What's going on, guys? My name's Sev, and this video is going to be what really grinds my gears number 2. And before I get into that, I actually wanted to say a little bit about the gameplay. It's 54-16 domination with the Barrett, so it's a little over 3 KD. It's not the greatest kill death ever, but I do have a couple nice little streaks or like moments in it. It's exciting gameplay, so I decided to use it. And I needed a longer gameplay anyways for today's topic, because I could honestly ramble on about this for an hour at least. But I gotta try to keep it to, I think, just under 12 minutes. So here we go. The actual topic that I'm going to be talking about is Peyton Manning. And if you guys don't know who that is, he's the quarterback for the Colts. So I don't know if you guys are big sports fans or football fans at all. But I love the Colts. They're by far my favorite football team. I mean, I'm a Colts fan for life, pretty much. Except for when I was younger, I was a Broncos fan with John Elway. But that's just, yeah. Anyways, the main reason I want to address this is I have gotten sick and tired of hearing all the shit that people have to say about the Colts this year. I mean, yeah, they went 2-14. Which is a horrible record. And I know that everybody's going to say, you know, football is a team sport, it's not a one-man sport, but just look at it. The nine or 10 years before this season, they've been in the playoffs every year. They've been a Super Bowl contender for a lot of them, a lot of those 9 years. And they even won one Super Bowl. And the first year that Peyton's gone and out of that offense, they go 2-14. And the thing that people don't understand is that the team was built around Peyton. So if you, I mean, any team, any sports team pretty much, if you build an entire team around one person, I mean, even if it's, say, like, if it was like a business team or something, like a group of people that, you know, they were built around one person, that's like, say, a good marketer. If they don't have that marketing, it's not going to succeed. So if they don't have the one person that team is based around, they're not going to do well. And people sometimes just don't understand that. Like, the wide receivers that they drafted and traded for and all that are people that fit the system with Peyton perfectly. The offense that he runs, nobody else can run. And that's why it's so good, because nobody else understands the offense. Like, nobody else can pick apart the offense. Like, Peyton can pick apart a defense and set up an offense. The Colts were only running with a fraction of the offense that they normally would with Peyton that they did with Painter and Orlovsky. And I mean, obviously those guys aren't really, I mean, Painter and Orlovsky aren't really starting quarterback caliber. Orlovsky did okay, but Painter's just a joke in my opinion. But I mean, the way that offense worked with Peyton, he's always had pretty decent receivers. He's always got one really good receiver that everybody knows about, and then there's another guy that's, you know, their flanker guy, their quick route guy, that throughout the season, once they have one good season with Peyton or a couple good years, that they become more known. And in the past, it was Marvin Harrison was the big guy, and Dallas Clark out of the tight end spot were the two big guys that everybody knew about. And then Reggie Wayne was, you know, the flanker that kind of helped just balance the passing offense that was always under the radar before he became, or had a good season with Peyton, and they were really successful. And now Reggie Wayne's that #1 guy, and Pierre Garçon is going to be the next Reggie Wayne. He's going to be the next one that starts off as kind of an under-the-radar guy. And I think within a few years, he'll be the #1 guy. And with that whole threat of being a kick returner and punt returner, that it'll just be a whole other aspect that the Colts offense have. But one thing that the Colts have never had in the past 10 years is a good defense. And they've never really had a good run game. And the reason they even had a decent run game is because of Peyton. Because he can set up the offense in a certain way that they can run a lot of quick passes, and then once they get those couple quick passes, they can go for the long ball, so the defense is going to be, they're going to tend to kind of play back, and then they're going to set up the play to look like a deep ball, and then they run a draw right up the middle. I mean, that's what the Colts' run offense has always been based off, is the draw. So, I mean, if you don't have a quarterback that can make all those passes and set up the long ball, you're never going to have a run offense. And, I mean, if you don't have a run offense and you have a subpar quarterback running your pass offense, well, I mean, your whole offense, but, I mean, he can't set up a good pass offense. Your offense obviously isn't going to succeed without running or passing. That's the only two things that make up an offense. So you can't really expect your offense to have good numbers or anything like that unless you have like a freak game or something like that. So the other side of that too is, if you're not having good drives on offense, that means your defense is always going to be on the field, and that's what that's what he's so good at, is he keeps the defense off the field so they're always well rested when they go back, when they have to play defense again. Excuse me. But I mean, they've always had a good pass rush with Freeney and Mathis. Excuse me. But they've never really had a good secondary or linebacker core. They've always had the guys that are, you know, smaller linebackers and smaller secondary guys, defensive backs, that they'll all collapse and kind of stop the run if they see it quick enough. But they've never had guys that could cover. Like, their passing defense rather is always terrible. So, I mean, without a good offense and without a quarterback that can keep the offense on the field long enough to keep the defense rested, you are not going to succeed. And if they don't have Peyton, they're not going to have either of those. So you can't expect them to be good without the person that they build the team around. Like, that's why they're so successful, is because Peyton can set up the offense to be dynamic because of the draw plays looking like the pass plays, and then on the other side of the things, he keeps the defense off the field, so they're always rested. One, they have to play defense, so they can play defense as well as they can, which is normally at least good enough to allow less points than the offense can score, which obviously means you win the game. So, I mean, if anything, I know the MVP, like, in the NFL or any sport really, is about the person with the best numbers overall. I mean, that's what it is. It's not really what the names would imply, who's the most valuable player to their team. I mean, if it really went by that, Peyton would hands down win the MVP this year, because, I mean, without him they went from playoff team to 2-14, so it goes without saying that he is the most valuable player to his team in the league, or probably any sport, or most any sport. There's not many teams that have a person that's more critical to their success than Peyton Manning is to the Colts. And, I mean, I could sit here and keep rambling about that for hours on end. And I could sit here and have an argument about why he's the best quarterback in the NFL, and probably, if not the best of all time, probably top 3, top 5 at least. And another thing, just to kind of talk about with what's coming up, I'm sure you guys know the Super Bowl's this Sunday, and I'm not looking forward to it at all. I'll probably just watch for the commercials this year, to be honest. I don't want to actually watch the game, because either way, either outcome of the game, it's going to suck for me. I'm going to hate it. This next year of football analysis on, like, PTI or SportsCenter, Around the Horn, anything like that, it's going to suck, because if the Patriots win, one, I fucking hate the Patriots since I'm a Colts fan, and I just despise Tom Brady with every fiber of my being. I respect him as a quarterback, but I just don't like the guy. He's good, I can't stand him. And if the Patriots win, he'll get his, like, 3rd or 4th ring in the last decade, and they're going to start worshiping him. Maybe Tebow will start worshiping him, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that'll be Tebow's new god. So if the Patriots win, one, the Patriots are going to be the dynasty again or whatever. Well, not the dynasty, because it's only their first one. But they're going to start talking about Tom Brady like he's a god. I mean, he is an elite quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He is a great quarterback. But I still personally think, I mean, I'm kind of biased, but I still think Peyton's a better quarterback. Brady's got a lot better team surrounding him defensively. So, I mean, that kind of goes without saying. Defense normally does win championships. So, but on the other side, if the Giants win, Eli's going to have 2 rings in a shorter time than Peyton got his one that he has. So they're going to start comparing Peyton to Eli and saying that Eli is better than Peyton just because he has more rings. And same thing with Brady. He's got a better defense. The Giants' defense the past couple years has been fantastic. So he's had a lot of support. I mean, he has had great seasons, but I just don't think he's near the level of Peyton. After this season, I probably would call him an elite quarterback, but Peyton's level, no, absolutely not. And right there, that shot should have hit him. That would have been an inspirational comeback. We were down like 40 points, but that's the end of the game. Leave a comment who you guys think is going to win the Super Bowl or who you want to win the Super Bowl. And yeah, just don't forget to like, favorite, subscribe if you haven't. But the name's Sev. Thanks for listening, guys. I'm out. Peace.